Gladiator's Mill. Hello and welcome to the channel, Who Let the Chef Out? Now I'm Sam, I'll be your chef, your tour guide and your host to this epic channel. Now, a few of my favourite things to do are explore, obviously cooking because I'm a chef, and history. So you can imagine what we're going to be doing on this channel. Now, as you guessed from the title, we're going to be cooking steak and eggs in an ancient Roman amphitheater. But before I take you there, I'm going to take you to one of my favourite spots, which is a little lake just around the corner. It's just a couple miles from the Roman ruins. Now, this lake that we're going to today is one of my favourite spots. I used to come out here and hang as a kid. It's just a little piece of paradise just around the corner from where you live. So in a few moments we'll take you there, and then after we've seen the lake we will head over to the Roman wall to get a little bit of history vibes from that, and then of course we will be cooking something epic, steak and eggs in a Roman amphitheater. Who would have thought, eh? Right, I did not wear the right shoes for this. Left boots at home. What did I put my trainers on for? Not any trainers as well. White trainers. Rookie. But we're just coming up to a lake. Now in the summer this place is beautiful, but it is a pretty cold 5 degrees February day in England. So it's a bit grey and gloomy. But however, in the summer this place is beautiful. Now there's a tree that falls down into the middle of the lake that we can climb on and go sit on, which I used to do with a few friends back in the day. A few cigarettes, a few beers in the summer. Beautiful. But let me just show you guys what we're talking about. There's ducks everywhere. There might be a few about today that we can maybe chuck a bit of bread to. Oh, we hear some. But there you go. And over there is the fallen tree. So let's get around to that and have a look, shall we? Oh, here we go. Hello, duckies. Now this is a great hotspot for dog walkers, as you can imagine. So we might come across some dogs. Me personally, I love dogs, so if I see one I will probably have to say hello. Alright, we're just going to head over to the fallen down tree in the lake. Quiet you, ducky, I'm trying to talk here. It is a bit of a trek. Not a long trek, but just look at all these roots just waiting to trip you up into that river. So careful where we step, because a friend of mine has fallen in here before. Did I help him out? No. Was it funny? Yes. We just had to move on with the mission. Sorry, I had beers and cigarettes to smoke. I can't get you out of the lake. Right, here we go, coming up to it. And like I say, in the summer, this was #1 hangout spot. Here we go. It's just an uprooted tree. It's just falling down into the lake. Oh, we've got the ducks on the end. Now, if the walk was tricky, this will be a bit trickier. This looks super slippy today. So I don't think I'll go right out to the end, as I'm holding an expensive camera, phone's in pocket. And also, I'm just not too fond of unwillingly going dipping in the lake. It looks fucking cold. But let's have a look. Oh yeah, super slippy. Super slippy. This used to be the little place we put all our beers. But yeah, nice little spot. You can sit here, have your legs dangling down, ducks coming up to you. And like I said, just a really peaceful spot. Now this is literally less than a mile, maybe less than half a mile from the Roman wall, where we'll be going soon, where we'll pick up a bit of history, hopefully learn some bits, and I will be taking you to the amphitheater. Now there is a nice church on the site of the Roman wall. Yeah, there's a nice church on the site of the Roman wall, so we might pop into that, have a little visit. Can't remember the age of it, but we will obviously pick those facts up along the way. There's lots of signs and stuff to read around the Roman wall, which will give us some facts and some diagrams and a good bit of history on the Romans whilst they were here. But for now, I think I'm going to do what I used to do, smoke a cigarette here, have a little chill, take in the view, and then we'll walk back up to the car and head over to the Roman wall. See you guys there. Right, we're heading back up to the car and then we will head up to the Roman wall. So let's just take one last look at the lake whilst we're here. See you later, duckies. I'm keen to get on some history vibes and we'll get down the Roman wall, plus I am hungry. So the sooner we cook that steak, cook that steak, the less hungry I will be along this whole video journey. Right, so we are here at the Roman town of Caliva, based in Silchester. Now, one of the noticeable facts on there is that to build this wall, it took 150,000 cartloads of stone. And from what I've researched, is most of this stone come down from Bath to build this wall. And I think it's mainly built out of flint and stone. What's left of the wall now is mainly the walls and the two gates. Some of the parts of the wall is still quite high, and we can just basically walk along a grass mound on top of the wall. The perimeter of the wall is about 2 kilometers, and I think that holds about 100 acres of land inside. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read. To get to the wall, it is a bit of a trek, so let's get cracking. The amphitheater is based on the site, but it's a little bit away from the wall. We will head up there as soon as we've done a little tour. We'll probably hit the church up before we hit the amphitheater. It just saves me carrying all my stuff around the wall, around the church. So what we'll probably do is just check out those bits, read up some facts. We'll get you some history facts, some food facts about what foods the Romans brought to England. And then we will head back to the car, grab the cooking stuff, and we will go straight to the amphitheater and cook up our little breakfast. Alright, so let's just enjoy the trek there. God, that wind is kicking up out on this open field. My ears are freezing. But we move. I'm sorry about all the sniffing. It's the cold wind is not doing great on my nose. But I think we're coming up to one of the gates now. There we go. And there should be a little board down there, and we can go read some facts. What I do whilst I'm here is I try and set the camera up at the top of the wall so you can get some sort of idea of how tall it still is and what's remaining. Here we go. So this is one of the gates. I would have been to this massive town, the North Gate. Yeah, so you can see by the picture how grand this actually was. We had a guard tower, big massive gate to keep people out. So this is built 200 AD. Now when this site stopped being used was like the downfall of the Romans, which I believe was 410 AD, around that sort of time. But yeah, as you can see, it still stands quite high. So as you can see, it still stands quite high. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see it from here, but right in the distance over about there is the church. So we're going to head over to there. So we're walking along the top of the wall. This is still about 4 foot off the ground from the top of the hill. see a little bit more what the structure of the wall looks like. So we obviously use a mix of flat stone, set leaf carved, and mortar and stone and flint to build this wall. Very impressive for the time. Just think how many men and man hours it would have taken to build something like this. Absolutely insane. This would have took years and years. Oh, almost died. Almost slipped right on my bum then. But as you can see, we're getting a bit closer to these farm buildings and church buildings. So we will head on over there. Hey guys. Yeah, it's a bit slippery, isn't it? Yeah. I've almost gone a couple of times. Hello. Can I say hello? Yeah. Don't worry about getting me dirty, I'm fine. Hello. Hello.
Any new people who love that.
Have a good day, guys.
Yeah, you too.
As I said before, big dog fan. I actually broke my own rule there. That little scamp was a bit muddy. He's got my jacket muddy, which I will have to wash before I go Poland on the weekend, which we'll be doing more videos there, more history, more cooking, more exploring. But now I'm going to have to wash my jacket before we go, because it is bloody cold out there, and this, what I'm wearing today, is my warmest jacket. Right, let's go look at this church then, shall we guys? Now, I'm not the most religious man, but I do respect the history behind buildings like churches, and it still impresses me. Or like I say again, the manpower and the time it would have taken to build them is still very impressive. I believe this is the church entrance where we can walk up there. Oh yeah, look, church. So let's head on up. Now, like I said, I can't remember the age of this church, but I'm sure we will find out once we're inside. There must be some sort of plaque or notice board that tells us. So I'm pretty sure it still is an active cemetery here. If we can go inside, we'll have a look, but if not, we'll just do a little walk around of the building. There's some oldest tombstones here. Let's have a look. St Mary's Church, Silchester. Can we go in? Is it open? Oh, it is open. Wow, look at this, guys. Pretty impressive inside. And that's what I mean, the history of just these places is just stunning. Stained glass, beautiful. I bet it looks amazing on a nice summer's day in here with all the sun coming through that stained glass. Let's see if we can find out how old the church is. We've got church wardens of 1774 here. This has got to be old. Let's make sure we shut this properly. Always leave stuff how you found it. We are here. Oh, my stomach just gave off a big rumble. It's because I know I've been talking about steak all morning at the amphitheater. But yeah, quite an impressive building. Quite an impressive building. I believe we've still got some of that Roman wall still going round the outskirts of the church. And this is a little pond and bench we used to hang out as kids. Like I say, everything looks better in the summer. It looks a bit dead and wilted. Not that attractive today on a February winter's day. But yeah, that was the Roman wall and the church. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned some facts along the way. And I'm probably going to do the same again. I'm going to chill, have a cigarette, take in the view, and then we will head over to the amphitheater and do some cooking. And we'll do some food facts and a bit more history on the site about the amphitheater, the Roman wall and the church. So just as I was sitting on the bench, I noticed this little notice board over here. Still got the Roman wall and the church in the background, but I'm trying to find out how old the church was. Just found this little notice board. So it was built in the 12th century and was restored in 1860s. Okay, we're just reading a little notice board back there. It just tells you sort of some of the things that have been discovered on site. The place has been, well, the site gets excavated every summer since 1997 by the Reading University. And the sort of things they found here are like grooming kits, like document seals, lots of pottery, and I think from what I saw on that notice board was a nice gold brooch that's been discovered here as well. But I'm sure they find lots and lots of things here year in and year out. Okay, we're back in the car. So like I said, we're going to drive around to the church, park up there, and then head to the amphitheater and do some cooking because I am hungry after that little trek. Right, so we have made it to the amphitheater. This is an example of what the site would have looked back in its day. Wasn't that mad? This little amphitheater could sit between 4,000 to 7,000 people. Now in ancient Rome, amphitheaters were normally used for, as you can imagine, gladiator fights, executions, horse shows, horse riding events. And from what I've researched here is they believe this amphitheater would have had something to do with some sort of horse sport or show, as they've dug up many horse bones from this site. But let's just have a little look. I think it's time to talk food, cook food, because I am hungry after all this trekking. So stuff's over here, we're going to set up and I'll see you in a sec. Right, we are all set up. We've got the camping stove. I even bought a chopping board, steak and eggs, and boy oh boy is my stomach rumbling. Okay, let's talk about the food and what type of foods the Roman brought over to England. Now, from my research, they brought over a lot of herbs and spices like thyme, dill, fennel. They also brought over a lot of meats like pigs, goats to farm, So in theory, the Romans could have been the original creator of the full English breakfast by bringing pork and other farm animals over to be farmed and kept. Also from my research, the favourite meat of choice by the Romans was of course beef. So hence why today we are doing steak and eggs in the amphitheater. I thought, what kind of gladiator meal can we do? And I thought steak and eggs has got to be the #1 fighting gladiator meal. Okay, so we've got a nice sirloin steak here. I want to grab before the walk up. Now we're just going to season that with plenty of salt. This is very important. Nice, generous, both sides. Give that a nice generous season of salt. Okay, and next we want to get a pan on, so I've got this on a couple minutes before, and we do want that absolutely smoking for beef. We want to get a nice seal on that, and a nice bit of caramelisation. So get that oil in there. Pan's it's a bit crooked because the ground's not completely flat, but that steak is plenty hot, that pan, for the steak to go in. Now chef guy, I'd always lay the steak away from you. Stop that oil splashing back on your hands. A rookie mistake, and that's what you want to hear. You want to hear that steak sizzling as soon as you put it in the pan. Now, I'm just going to give that a minute or so on each side, take it off, and the most important thing about steak is just let it rest. So we're going to give that a good couple minutes on each side, let it rest, and then we get the eggs and stuff in there. Right, it's now time to flip the steak. So flip that over. Oh, look at the colour on that fat. Nice caramelisation. And now it's time to chuck some bit of butter in the pan. Got some fresh thyme, which the Romans would have used, and some garlic. Right, so we're just going to baste that butter over on the steak. Getting all those flavours from the thyme and the garlic infused into that steak. Absolutely beautiful. Get that butter melted. And we're just going to leave it until that butter foams up and goes brown and goes all nice and nutty. Alright, and there's the steak all nicely cooked off. So now, whilst that butter's still just a nice little bit brown, we are going to add the eggs and cook them in that meaty caramelised butter, which is going to be sensational. Well, one egg, but we've got a bit of shell in there. Let's get that out. We don't want to eat that. I don't want crunchy eggs. Get that out. Get out of there, you. Oh, we've got more than one egg though, don't we? Beautiful. Cooked beautiful, just how I like it, medium rare. Let's pop that egg yolk. Oh. Dip that in there. Now that is a gladiator's meal. Well, there we have it, people. Thanks if you've stayed this far and watched the whole episode. We did it. We're having steak and eggs in the ancient Roman Amphitheater, cooked in thyme and garlic. Now that is a meal for champions. Nope, better yet, that's a meal for gladiators. Now that's all we have time for. Like I say, thanks for watching. This is the first episode. Appreciate the views, I appreciate the likes and the comments. I hope you learnt something along the way, either about the Romans or even just about cooking a steak. That is the point of the channel. Just fun facts, history facts, and a bit of cooking in between. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace.